second cross. Yeah! Thank you! It's a summer dream! Dream fun! Live it on, blue boy! Live it on!
Good evening. Happy Friday night, everybody. You have got the Noisy Neighbours pre-game show. I'm Mark Mulv. Looking to spend a little bit of time with you tonight before the big match against Arsenal tomorrow. Let me know in the chat if I'm coming through all right. If you can hear me, see me, let me know. Looking forward to getting some comments from you, some things to react to. Not too much going on this week in Manchester City in their timeline. I'm joking. It's been absolutely mad. Okay, say my name from Kyle. Hiya, mate. Hope you're all right. There's Jason up in Canada. Hiya, mate. Com40, Chris Com40. Hiya, mate. Brent wants to know, are we in podcasting? As always, yes, I believe we are, or at least the YouTube version, mate. So, wow, what a week for Manchester City. We can talk about it all. We can talk about transfer window, talk about the game tomorrow. We can talk about Ben Mendy. We can talk about what other teams are doing. Whatever you like. Is Patrick Holly wants to know about. He says he was in a coma. Any news on Ronaldo? Yeah. What a palaver. Ronaldo. We can just get straight into that if you like. I confession, I got fully caught up in it rather hastily before really thinking about it. I think just out of desperation for a striker. And when you look at the bloke in terms of clinical finishing, absolute bagsman, winner, Champions League experience, I mean, perfect fit for City in that regard, but so many reasons he's not a good fit for Manchester City, sort of outweighing that, and that finally got to me eventually after reading a lot of City fans' comments on Twitter and that opinions about the guy's personality and the baggage and all the things that you get with Ronaldo. Maybe we swerved that. Maybe that was for the best that we swerved that. So hopefully City have got a plan at striker. We've only got a few days left in the window. We can talk about all the different options at striker, ones that we have already, ones that you might want to see come in. Give me some names. I'm, not great at knowing names of footballers across Europe, as you know. Joey's more into that, but getting some good comments in the chat here. Nevs thinks that Cheeky's also been in a coma. We got a shout for Texi Bergerstein. Yeah, one of our favorite drops on the show. So let's talk about the striker position and City's transfer business this summer. And I suppose it all kicked off with not renewing Sergio's contract, right? So I think after seeing that and after hearing Khaldoon speak at the end of the season, giving us big confidence that they recognized that letting him go was massive, and that could only mean one thing, and that is that they've got somebody lined up that they're going to bring in. So I think we all believed that, but I would say for the at least the second time in the last few months, our club, Manchester City, have sort of backed what I call a three-legged horse. First one was the Super League, which was, by all accounts, half-baked as anything, right? I mean, They had no marketing behind it. They had Florentino Perez sort of orchestrating it. They had the guys from United writing all of the press releases. I mean, that was an absolute shambles. Um, so that's sort of where the questions start for me, because after that, it's all gone a bit tits up in terms of our leadership and making decisions. So the second three-legged horse they've chased, I think, is the Harry Kane camp. He and Charlie Kane, his brother, who had this, I think, also half-baked idea that they were going to be able to get out of Spurs this summer. And by all accounts, we've just been waiting to get that deal done with no other options, I guess, viable or in the pipeline, which is pretty disappointing. I mean, considering Sergio, I mean, my favorite City player of all time, absolute legend. The fact that we let him go, I know he's injured, and I know all that, and it's probably the right time to let him go and all that, but to sort of set us up for a big replacement, and doesn't sound like we're even close to getting anybody. Is a big letdown, I think. Big letdown this summer. I love Jack Grealish. That's great. But I think you ask most City fans, he wouldn't have been at the top of the list of needs. You know, we've got plenty of attacking players wide or in the eights, but we broke our record, broke the English record, transfer record, 100 million on Jack Grealish when we didn't necessarily need him. So very interesting. So I've got some shouts in the chat here for other options at striker. I've got Hoops Collector likes DCL. I think that's Dominic Calvert-Lewin from Everton, who I like a lot. And I will tell you this: the thing about Ronaldo that I was quite excited about was just sort of having Kevin or Mahrez or Jack Grealish just lobbing balls into the box for Ronaldo to just leap up and head in. I could see it. I could see it all happening, and that was part of my excitement. So Calvert-Lewin has that similar attribute in that he can climb and he's great in the air, great header of the ball. So yeah, I wouldn't mind a Calvert-Lewin. I think the problem you're going to find with him is this late in the window, the price that Everton would want for him. English, you got English tax, City tax. You're looking at 80, 90 million, I think. So young, somebody you could develop and could get better, but I don't know. It doesn't seem like we're ready to pull the trigger on striker for that amount at the moment. So we'll see. Josh Meyer wants to see Delap get his opportunity. Okay, on Delap, I love this idea because I don't know about you lot, but in terms of this season, and this might sound a bit, I don't know what the word is, but because we do so well, we won the Premier League, we're a very successful team. I sort of wanted to see a change. A few of the players in the camp apparently unhappy and want to leave. So we've gone on a good run with Pep with this group of players. I think I think teams need to refresh every now and then to keep going again, because there's burnout. You fall out with the coach. Some players do, and they want to try new things. So I thought we were looking at a proper refresh this summer, and really what it looks like is it's going to be Aguero out and Grealish in, and that's about it at the moment, which is not what I would consider like a proper refresh. However, one thing you can do when you're looking to shake things up a little bit and inject a little bit of energy and refresh the minds a bit is bring in some youth players. So Liam Delap is by all accounts a top talent. Has been playing in the youth team. He's already a fully grown man, absolutely fully grown. And again, another tall guy that you could play crosses into. It's good in the air again. But I think more than anything, he brings that freshness and that a bit of excitement, something different, something different strategy, a different tactic for Pep to try. That I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see. You know, I'm a little bit bored of the false nine. To be fair, um, I would like a target man, and I would like Pep to adapt his tactics around that. And I might be being a bit greedy there, considering how successful he's been with the false nine. But just I wonder if you guys feel the same. All right, that's Delap. Thank you, Josh. Izzy Bolding on a free. Am I right? Yes, Izzy Bolding. He's if you only know us by the YouTube channel, which would be weird. We also do a podcast. Me and Joey. Usually comes out. We usually record it Monday night. Comes out on Tuesday, or late Monday night if you're in the States. Tuesday morning if you're in Europe or elsewhere. Yeah, the name of our last podcast was Izzy Bolding, and if you listen to it, you'll know why. Jacob Lackey says, any merit to the Kane or bust strategy being conjured up by Pep? He seems to prefer a fluid front line, and unless we have a world-class number 9, he doesn't want him. There it is. Jacob, yeah, I think you make a good point there, and I think that could very well be what's going on with Pep. Like he was only willing to change his tactics if he could get the number 9 he thought could make those tactics effective. And maybe there's just a level of striker that he will not compromise on. So he thinks Harry Kane can do what he wants to do, and basically nobody else, which is what it sounds like. That being said, to be as far away from getting Harry Kane as it appears we are or were, really confusing, mate. Really confusing. But I think you might be right with your theory there. Let's look at some other comments. Jose doesn't think Pep will have the patience in Delap. I tend to agree with you, mate, in that we really haven't seen, with the exception of maybe Foden, which even still, he was pretty slow to bring Foden along. Haven't seen Pep rely on kids. So maybe this is the season that he's actually forced to, which would be pretty cool for me. Let's see. Alex is all right giving Delap a run. Agree with you, mate. Josh, more comments on Delap. He scored 24 goals in 20 games. Yeah, he's a madman. He's a madman. Hoops Collector, do you feel the Kane door is absolutely shut this window? I know we've been let down this window, but is it done? It feels done. It really does. But it's been such a crazy window. You never know. You never know. We might make a massive offer, and we may have underestimated just how much Spurs need the money. Apparently, they've got a lot of things to pay for, so we'll see. We'll see. It might, the theory maybe that Daniel Levy will take the money really late in the window, so he doesn't have a chance to spend it, and he just says, hey, we got the money. I didn't have the chance to spend it, and then they can put it towards other things. It's possible, but unlikely, I think. Hunter. Let's see. Yeah. Robert Palkin says, I think we forget how young the average age of the team is. A lot of them seem to have been around forever. Yeah, we were talking about Raheem Sterling today with some of my mates. Just realized he's still only 26. Yeah. And that's the profile of player we've been going for over the last few years. And which is why the Ronaldo thing, again, not really City profile type of player. The old guy on massive wages. I thought it was a possibility because you're looking at Pep contract running out here in the next year or two. You get Ronaldo in for a couple of years just to give Pep maybe that final marquee signing to get him the Champions League while he's here. But I'm not even sure Pep's actually leaving. I have a feeling he might stay a bit longer. Let's see. Low-key popping off has got a mention in the chat. Thank you, Jason. Okay, Patrick wants Delap to start against Wickham in the Carabao. That would be fantastic. I think he should be our cup striker this season. You know how we have a cup goalkeeper? He should be the cup striker, in my opinion. Why not? Let's see. JRX wants to know what other Galactico can we pursue ourselves into embarrassment? Yeah. Holland. Why not? Maybe we're setting up for Haaland next year. I'm not sure. That would be nice. He scored a winner in extra time today. I don't know if you saw that. The guy's he's a machine. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the a link in the chat, and then anybody who wants to come on, just make sure you've got video and sound. Headphones are great. You can click the link if you're on your computer, and I think it even works on iPhone or whatever. So if you want to come on and have a chat with me about whatever you like, put the link in the chat and join me. Yeah, here we go. Boom, there it is. The link is in the chat. If you'd like to come on the Noisy Neighbors show and chat Manchester City with me, looking forward to it. So, any other thoughts on transfers, or shall we talk about the game tomorrow? We've got Arsenal. It's an early one if you're in the States. I think it's 7:30 Eastern time, 6:30 Central, where I am in Dallas. It's a big game, actually. After the events of this week, I feel like the fan base is definitely on tilt. A loss tomorrow could send us into a massive spiral as a fan base. Because I know even the events of the last 24 hours have. So not getting all 3 points tomorrow could be a problem for us. May have to delete some apps off of my phone if we don't win tomorrow. Who do we want to see tomorrow? Actually, I tell you what. Let's talk about Arsenal for a minute. So Arsenal are winless so far this season. They famously lost to Brentford on the opening day of the season, 2-0. Followed that up. They were unfortunate to have to play the European champions Chelsea the following week. Lost 2-0 to them. If we think we're in a bit of crisis, we're not. But a crisis club is Arsenal right now, and another team whose fan base tends to overestimate their place a bit. They maybe need to realize that they're not quite what they used to be and set their sights a bit lower. But tomorrow it's Arsenal and City at the Etihad, second home game in a row. I think across the fan base we're quite confident about this because of the form that Arsenal have been in and because of the way we took care of Norwich last weekend. 5-0 with Gabriel Jesus just popping off on the right wing. Unbelievable. Was also talking to some mates about some of the players who maybe, even though we won the league last season, most of the players, to be fair, didn't have the greatest of seasons. I think outside of Ilkay Gundogan, who was brilliant, Ruben Diaz, no question. Who else? Mahrez was okay. Outside of those folks, John Stones was really good. Outside of those names, 4 or 5 names I've mentioned, I think there's upside versus last season in everyone's performance. I'm thinking of names like Raheem Sterling, who we all know is better than what he showed last season. Kevin De Bruyne didn't have a great season, in my opinion. It was great because he's Kevin, but for his standards, I don't think he had a great season. He could get better. Phil Foden is getting better week on week, so he could be great. Mahrez could improve a little bit. Laporte didn't have a great season. Could be back. Cancelo could be better. Rodri could be better. I just think Ferran Torres, when you look across the side, that I think there's reason to be optimistic about versus last season, how some of our players could play. Because you can't be guaranteed that Gundogan's going to play at the same level he did last season. You need somebody to maybe get those goals and cover that outlay. Let's see what are we saying about Arsenal. Patrick Holly says we need to beware the wounded tiger, even if that tiger is more of a feral cat at the moment. Yeah, nice one. Arteta's had Pep's number a little bit since he left to go manage Arsenal. Orlando Martinez agrees with me. He says, excellent point. A lot of potential for some of the guys not playing their best right now. Yeah, I agree, mate. Ferran Tires. Is that because he makes a lot of runs, or is that supposed to be Ferran Torres? Torres. Okay, Torres. Yep, I agree with you, mate. I think he's a player. I think Ferran is a player. I feel for him because we're sticking him at striker, and he's not been trained to do that. But he certainly does have, of our forward players, by all accounts, he's one of the most clinical. That was one of the things I really liked about Leroy Sané. In terms of our forward players, I think his goals to shots ratio was really good. Quite a clinical forward. I think Torres could have that quality about him as well. The finish that got ruled out last week was a real shame because it was an Aguero-esque finish at the near post. Let's see. Kevin Acosta, my mate here in Dallas, a huge game from Grealish would calm the fan base down a little after this past week, I think. You're absolutely right, mate. I'm debating whether Grealish is my new favorite player. Like I told you, Aguero was my guy. Grealish, I don't know, something about him. He's a lad. He's funny, but he's like low key funny. Plays dumb a little bit, I think, but he cracks me up. So yeah, I love Jack Grealish. I love the goal. I love the fact that it went in off his knee. Typical. Let's see. Patrick says Ferran chance to bag 15 to 20 goals this season. Hope the striker fires him up to prove a point. Oh, okay. Yeah, striker talk fires him up. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully he takes his chance if he gets played there in the number 9. Personally, I've always thought Gabby was our best option there, even though hasn't been particularly clinical, just in terms of the work rate, the pressing, and what have you. The opportunities he opens up for other teammates. But man, I can't argue with what he did on the right wing. That was impressive, very impressive. So yeah, maybe keep Torres in the middle, as he does appear to be the most clinical. We'll see. Com40 says he could see Jackie really coming out on fire. Yeah, when I spoke about the refresh, whatever you want to call it, of the side mentally and in the dressing room, Jack Grealish could well be enough of a refresh for the rest of the dressing room. Like, hey, here's a guy. We broke the English transfer record for this guy. He's an absolute baller. We know that because KDB, I think personally requested Pep sign him. A character like that, a big signing like that, can be enough to liven things up, refresh things. It's so hard to go back to back in this league to retain the title. You need to bring players in and have some turnover and keep the minds fresh. And Grealish is an exciting player, and he could be enough. Gabby pushing Mahrez for that spot on the right wing will be nice for both of them to give it their all every week. Yeah, absolutely. I thought Mahrez, the way Mahrez had been playing in preseason and dating back to last season, he had a really good season, and I thought he basically had that right wing locked down because Pep never really wants to play Sterling out there. But then here comes Gabriel Jesus. Just what, almost 3 assists did he have? With the one call that was called back, and the interplay with Kyle Walker was phenomenal. Kyle Walker, we have to talk about Kyle Walker. So underrated, I think, as a right back. I think might be the best right back in the world. Just defensively, you're not getting past him. He allows you to play, pressed up high, and allows you to defend against a counterattack like nobody else does. Just a phenomenal player. And, he plays a decent ball out of the midfield. Who's this? What's up from Arlington, Texas? Hi, mate. Who's going to be the regular starter on the left wing? Okay. Great question. I don't know that we're going to have a regular starter out there, to be fair, because you've got Grealish, you've got Foden, you've got Sterling. In a pinch, you could have Torres or Mahrez out there, although we've rarely seen that. I think what's going to happen is Phil Foden is undeniable. He's inevitable, as they say. The stock bought Thanos. He's gonna be our left winger, I think, in any big game. He's just, you got to find a place for him in a big game, and I think that's typically going to end up being left wing. Colby wants to know what's happened to signing Nuno Mendes. Yeah, I don't know, mate. That was a massive rumor going around. He's a left back out of Portugal, I believe. Left back is a position that we have done patchwork on for as long as I can remember. I guess since the Clichy Kolarov platoon from the Mancini and Pellegrini days, even I guess the first season of Pep, the left back has been patchwork. Fabian Delph did all right. Zinchenko, I think we can all say he's now a left back. He might be a Pep left back, but he's a left back, and he's proper good at it. Benjamin Mendy, the less said about him, the better. I was always of the mind that he might turn things around here, but I think that's been vanquished now. Was amazing before the injuries. Gave us an option that not many teams in the league had, or in Europe had. It was just a wing back, like just spamming crosses in. We were beating teams by 4 and 5 goals when he first arrived. But then he got injured and was never the same. And now clearly he's got bigger problems. So, yeah. Colby, in terms of the left back, yeah, I don't know if we didn't spend the money on a striker, you would at least thought we would have snuck a left back in this window, but not to be. Brent Littlefield wants a Theo Hernandez. Never heard of him. No, I have. I just don't know much about him, mate. Patrick, Mendy's lawyer, a better defender than him, probably. He'll hope so. Tomorrow, Arsenal. So against Chelsea, they ran out a lineup of Leno in goal, Suarez at right back, Tierney at left back, but I think he came off injured. The centre backs are Rob Holding, double skin fade Rob Holding and Pablo Mari. In the midfield, Lokonga and Granit Xhaka. They play a 4-2-3-1. The three are Nicholas Pepe, Smith Rowe, and Bukayo Saka. I really rate that Smith Rowe kid. He's got something about him. Keep an eye on him. Then up front, their striker was Gabriel Martinelli. So quite a youthful side across the board. The big name strikers aren't in there. That's your Lacazette and your Aubameyang. I think they've been having some COVID issues. I'm not sure exactly who's fit for tomorrow, but you would like your chances, I think, against that side if you're Manchester City. Let's talk about who City might play tomorrow. I think definitely Ederson's in goal. No reason to switch him. Kyle Walker at right back and Cancelo at left back. To be fair, I think I'm going to name the same side that won at Norwich last week. You could see a little bit of rotation, but I mean, why not reward the 11 that just dominated that match? I think we gave up one shot as a team and bagged 5. So why argue with that? I don't think there's anything in particular about Arsenal that we need to worry about. Perhaps the wingers can be a bit tricky. So yeah, but if you've got Walker and you've got Cancelo, you've got bags of pace on the wing for tomorrow. In the midfield, I go with Rodri, who had a decent game last week. We described him as having a very Gareth Barry-esque game, which is where, if you don't remember his performance, that's great. He probably did a great job. Just like when you don't remember a referee's performance, they've had a good game. So Rodri with Gundogan and Bernardo as the 8s. Jack Grealish on the left wing, Torres down the middle, and Gabriel Jesus on the right. Why not? Play the same guys. Conforti reminds us that Aubameyang occasionally hurts us. That is correct. Do you know if he's fit for tomorrow? I think he was on the bench last week, so he is probably ready to go. Hoops Collector wants to know, is Kevin healthy? It would surprise me if he came back before the international break, mate. Haven't seen him in any of the training videos or anything, so yeah, I doubt he'll be there. And there's no reason to rush him yet. I don't think. In that position, you've got plenty of cover because it doesn't look like Bernardo's going anywhere. So, and is there a better player in the league than KDB injury Bernardo? Probably not. I like this thing that's going around on Twitter, which is like naming players by their peak performances. For example, and give me some in the chat, like Debut Mangala. He's a monster. KDB injury Bernardo is another. I heard somebody shout for Ramadan Mahrez. Apparently he's amazing during Ramadan. Give me some others. Players, nicknames based on when they're at their absolute best. Let's see. Nebs says that Kevin's not ready yet. So there you go, mate. Yeah. Hoops Collector wants Zinchenko, Laporte, Diaz, and Kyle for sure. Okay, so he wants Zinchenko back in the side. That's fine. Don't mind Zinchenko or Cancelo. I might play Cancelo again just to reward him for last week's win. All right. What else? I did see something on transfers up here. Okay, from ADO17X. He says, I'm not upset we didn't get Ronaldo. I'm upset that our chairman has made promises to strengthen this summer and flex our muscle per se. Now we are entering the season with no striker and no LN. I think he probably means left back. Yeah. Yeah. I think we agree, mate, that the strategy has failed. We were given the impression that Sergio would be replaced with a big name, big money striker, and it hasn't materialized. And the difference, it turns out, between what we were willing to pay and what Spurs were willing to accept was massive. So why we didn't have other options, we can speculate about. We did speculate earlier that maybe Pep said, I only want a striker of a certain caliber because I'm willing to adjust my tactics to support a number 9, a true number 9, but they have to be of a certain quality. And if I can't get Kane and I can't get Haaland this year, then I'll make do with what I've got. And I think for us that's disappointing because we had hopes of somebody coming in, especially with Aguero going, but not to be. Yeah, Ian, again, no left back, no striker. Yeah, it's going to have to be another Pep masterclass this season, I think, and this will be his masterpiece if he pulls this league out. Because the way the other sides have strengthened, Chelsea look absolutely formidable, mate. With Lukaku, absolute monster. Yeah, Lukaku is one that is a head scratcher because seems like a guy that we could have chased. Considering how far off we were on Kane. Yeah, I think a lot of us here would have loved Lukaku, even though he played for United and he was pretty shit there. He's I think Kevin would have loved to play with him. Troy Deeney, Inflatable Drake, as they call him. That's a bit of a panic, isn't it? You're probably just joking. With CR7, what was the problem? City not wanting to pay or CR7 being convinced to go to Man United? I think City were not convinced. I don't think Pep was convinced, by all accounts. And I read somewhere where Ronaldo got the impression that we weren't 100% committed, and I'm going to guess that was from Pep. And then I don't know if you've seen the figures, but the figures that United are paying him are crazy. 450 million. £450,000 a week. And when that happens, and you've seen City's history with this, when City chase a player and then United come in, we just go for it, lad. We wash our hands of it, and United end up paying through the nose. I think that's what they say. And to be fair, it hasn't worked out for them. City keep winning trophies. Man United win out. But yeah, 480,000 bags is what Ian says. Nice one. So yeah, but I to your point, Merid, hope I'm saying that right. I was excited about Ronaldo. I was watching the City Extra live last night. They were having loads of fun with it, and I got really fired up about it. And I thought, yeah, it makes sense. And then I got too excited, not because it eventually failed, but thinking on it now, it would have been a bad fit, personality wise, baggage wise. Yeah, and now see we're gonna have to do something with Mendy now because he's in trouble, he's in jail, and we don't know how long City have known about these arrests for sexual assault. But City could be in a little bit of trouble too, depending on when they knew about it and him playing anyway. So, I think City are going to have to, they have suspended Mendy. They're going to have to condemn him for it. Obviously, he's going to have to go through the legal process, and we'll find out what exactly he's done, but it's an awful lot of allegations. And if it is true what he's done, and City didn't at least suspend him when they found out and said, "Hey, you got this thing going on. Why don't you not play for a bit until it gets all worked out?" So to have to deal with Benjamin Mendy, and then you're going to bring in it, you're going to pay loads of money for a guy who's got similar allegations against him. I don't think he can come to America for. I think there's a warrant out for his arrest here in the States. Well, we were going to have to do some gymnastics to explain why we were condemning Mendy, and then turn around and sign Cristiano Ronaldo. So I know it's delicate. and I'm not an expert, but my initial excitement was tempered by a lot of smart people on Twitter and that saying, "Hey, this was never going to be a good fit, so we shouldn't have got excited about it in the first place." But I'll be transparent with you. I was giddy. I was giddy. Jason, John McRoberts, do you think Ronaldo was ever a real option for City or just an overhyped media reaction? Seems like a desperate move after missing Kane if we went through. I think he was an option. I don't think that we were ever so serious about him because I have the feeling that City were his first choice. So if we'd have wanted him bad enough, we would have paid and we would have got him. I think we had the first right of refusal, as you might say. Like we were the first pick. We've got the money clearly. If City had wanted Ronaldo to be a City player, he would be. Is my answer to your question, John. So I just don't think we were ever that gung ho about getting him in here. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you, Patrick. This is exactly what I was feeling. I was being emotionally led on by some of my fellow City fans because it was funny. It was really funny. I mean, to be fair, the United lot were doing it too. They were burning their shirts. They were threatening to throw pigs' heads on the pitch. I mean, they thought he was going to City. So for as many City fans that look silly today, there's just as many United fans who look silly from when they were thinking he was coming to City. So it's all in good fun. But what I love about City fans is they don't take themselves too seriously, particularly the ones that do create content. Your Steve McInerney, City Extra, the podcast guys. They don't take themselves too seriously, which some of the other clubs content creators do, and they think they're proper influencers and all that. So when we get mugged off, City, when our fan channels get mugged off, they don't care. It's all good. It's all in good fun. I love it. Kyle Cook, hiya mate. Good evening from California. Up the trolled hard blues. Yes, we have been trolled hard this week, pal. Good to hear from you, Kyle. Hope you're well, mate. Let's see. What else we got? Yeah, Ian. We basically lost out on Messi, Kane, Ronaldo, left backs in jail. Great summer. Oh dear. Yeah. Well then, I've done about 45 minutes. I think I'm going to wrap this up, guys. I did want to get in front of you and have a bit of a chat because I know it's been a crazy week to be a Manchester City fan. It was all popping off, and I just thought before Saturday's match against Arsenal, I've had fun chatting with my mates today, and I thought I'd come on here and see what you guys had to say. But yeah, let's get ready for tomorrow morning. Morv, good to see you. Keep the faith, Blues. Trust in Pep. Thank you, mate. Mad for stripes. I think that's my white stripes, buddy. Mate, there's Stanley. Hiya, mate. Hope you're all right. Leicester not looking that good, mate. It might not be one of their years. Yeah, Kevin reminds us we got the statues tomorrow. Oh dear. I worry about these statues. Somebody told me that one of them is like mechanical, like it moves. Come on, City. Can you just not do a normal statue? Oh dear. Yeah, everybody who's saying thanks for for coming on and saying hello to you all. Thanks to all of you for joining in. Speak again soon. Podcast should be out probably Monday night if you're in the States, Tuesday on if you're in Europe and that. It'll be out in 5 minutes if you're in Australia. Yeah, thanks Michelle, thanks everybody, and yeah, ta-ra for now.